Welcome to the Bay Insider with Amanda and Ying, where we talk about history, lifestyle, and real estate in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, there's a couple of new things that I think are pretty interesting that may be affecting our market. One of them being the new ADU legislation, allowing people who created ADUs, which is an accessory dwelling unit, on their property, built after May 1st, can be sold separately as a condo. And this is a really big deal. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the condo conversion situation in San Francisco, but to make a long story short, for many, many years, really, you've only been able to convert 2-unit buildings into condos. And they were going to be bringing the lottery back, which is how larger buildings converted to condos. But that it looks like it's probably not ever gonna happen. We don't know for sure, but it looks unlikely. But this would be a way where people who are house rich, right, but wanna stay in the area perhaps and need extra money can create this ADU, or they can take maybe a illegal unit that they had in their house, turn it into an ADU, and then sell it separately and be able to have extra money on hand. The point is to increase the amount of units that are available because we have a housing crisis.
Yeah. So the objective, well, there are several objectives. One is to increase housing supply, right? The city is short of housing units. But just to give some background info, the ADU effort has been going on for a while now. It has been under supposedly fast track in the last couple of years at least. Although we never heard a whole lot of movements in
Of
the
anything
fast
happening
or
quickly
anything fast
with
track,
relation
right?
to the building department.
Right, so it wasn't any faster, and, anyone who dealt with it had a horrible story to tell. At least that's what I heard. So this one under our new mayor is trying to truly change the process, and it only applies to units built after May 1st of this year, which is kinda interesting. That make
Mhm.
you question, like, what happens to the units that you approved before? I'm not saying there are many of them, but there are some.
There are definitely some. I mean, I've talked to people who've gone through the process and, they may or may not plan on selling them separately, but I'm sure those people who have gone through that process recently who don't fall into that category are gonna be slightly miffed that
Yeah,
they
no, tell me
cannot
about
take
it.
part.
Our mayor has been really pushing changes in the planning process. So we're hoping this is changing the law will actually be effective.
Yeah, so we don't know how it's gonna play out, and that's, with so many things. In theory, I think this is a great idea. In practice, we'll see how it goes, but for somebody, who needs to get a little bit extra money out of their house, or for those people who wanna buy in San Francisco and they don't have a lot of money to do so, buying one of these ADUs that has been turned into a condo may create a more affordable property to purchase. So, I'm hopeful and I'm interested to see how it plays out for sure.
Just want to point out a few things. So this approach will apply to some people. Like Amanda is saying, people who have been in the house for a long time, they are house rich. So most likely they can get a equity line to do the renovation and this go through the condo conversion process and sell it. But the downside of it, or things we don't know, is how that's going to impact the value of your existing home. Some people may not care because, they are thinking, I really need the cash. I need to worry about my retirement. So maybe it's not an issue. Some other people might care because that basically would devalue your current residence by a large amount. Just a classification of a single family home versus condo is very different. You are taking probably huge chunk value out of your house by doing so. But then
I
you
think
get to
that's a
sell
really
the
good
unit.
point that you're making, Ing, because I think, I talked to other people who had already started going through the process of turning their house into 2 units. This was even before this ADU thing. And they were walking down that road and they had no idea that they were actually gonna be devaluing their property. They thought they would be adding value, which unfortunately right now, a single family home is definitely much more desirable, highest and best use in terms of value of what you're going to get for the property.
Yeah.
So it's important to know those things when you embark on this.
Yeah, so if you ever consider going down that route, give us a call. No, we can definitely talk about it. We can help you to strategize a little bit, maybe, or at least point out the things you should consider.
Right.
Right?
And looking at what are your long term goals for the house, for your life, and what makes sense for you financially with regard to the value of your property.
Yeah, it's not so simple. Not so simple at all. But we'll keep you posted. So that's our wrap for ADU.